Okay, the amount of annoying videos I see on a daily basis, the pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were.
Okay, the amount of annoying videos I see of dead babies being blown to smithereens is just so annoying. These pro-Palestinian people are just worse than the BLM people. Can somebody just send a warning before you send all these videos with dead children? I don't need to be seeing that, okay? My dad is a lawyer and he told me that is an infringement upon my ability to enjoy my day. I'm just Emily, how are we gonna ever as a society overcome this below average IQ blonde stereotype when you keep popping off with some shit?
You know who's not blocking airports? You know who's not blocking me from getting inside a coffee shop? My Jewish friends, because they're all at work.
Emily, your Jewish friends are not bombing hospitals, airports, and schools right now, okay? That would be the US government, which is what the students are protesting. I know this is gonna sound absolutely wild to you, but you as an American have a small but not insignificant amount of influence in shaping your government's policies. And the students who you're so inconvenienced by are protesting against a genocide. Thank you, little blonde Hitler. I had to scoop my brain out just to understand this take. Hello, can somebody help please? My arm is stuck.
Communism was created by a loser who created an ideology for losers.
Here is my insightful and thorough and comprehensive critique of communism. Karl Marx literally sucks butt. He's a butt sucker. If Karl Marx started a band, he'd call it the Butthole Surfers. Communism was created by a loser from Loserville, and he lived a loser life, and every day he ate loser sandwiches and walked his loser dog, and he sat in his little loser chair, and he wrote his little loser book. What a loser. Loser communists can't think for themselves. That's what my daddy said. He's from Brazil, and he said communism is evil, and he's from Brazil. Communism is an ideology for losers, and everybody that follows communism is a loser too. Karl Marx is such an irrelevant loser who means nothing to the world, which is why I've devoted my entire online presence to talking about him. So stay tuned for my next video. Anyway, that's why I'm here, to talk about the evils and the losers of communism, okay? So thank you.
Stay at the beach in the apartheid state.
And people say that the United States is systemically racist. Yeah, okay. Right?
Islamism, okay? Now, Islamism, you have these groups like the Islamist Republic of Iran,
We ain't reading all that. Free Palestine.
choose democracy and Western values. USA, Ukraine, Israel, Europe.
Hey, Mr. Self-Proclaimed Power Gay, do you find it hard to defend the state of Israel when it literally criminalizes gay marriage? I love how you own yourself by trying to paint Israel as the beacon of democracy and Western values. Meanwhile, they criminalize your way of life.
That's my lesson today for Queers for Palestine. I love ya, but you've been manipulated, and I'm not gonna let you take down Western civilization.
Yes, because if there's one thing that we know about Queers for Palestine, they represent the threat of taking down Western civilization. Thank you, most brave liberal.
Democracy, USA.
I'm a white colonizer.
I'm a white colonizer.
I'm a white colonizer.
No, you guys are settlers. You're not colonizers. You didn't colonize the land of Palestine. The colonizers in this case are the British fucking Empire and the Zionist leaders who colonized the land of Palestine by sending settlers such as yourself to settle the land. And yes, quite remarkably, they were all white. If you want to talk about individual colonizers, then let's look at the people who had the material power to institute and implement policies of colonization. People like the British Prime Minister Lloyd George. People like the founder of the State of Israel, David Ben-Gurion. People like Zionist leader Vladimir Jabotinsky, who said colonization is an adventure. If you want to talk about colonizers, let's talk about the Jewish Colonization Association. Why are you picking out random Israeli settlers and force-feeding them lines? Could it be that you have no argument? Grabbing random Israelis off the street and telling them to say, "I am a white colonizer," so you can have a gotcha video is not the flex that you think that it is. It only reports your ignorance. I know that you thought that you cooked with this video, but you did not. You cannot change the material reality that colonizers from the British Empire, along with the Zionist movement and later on with the United States government, colonized the land of Palestine, extirpated the indigenous population from their land, and illegally moved in and settled it. To be a colonizer, you have to have the material power of colonizing. You have to colonize. States with a monopoly on violence are the only entities that can colonize other parts of the world. Don't believe me? Let's refer back to early Zionist leader Vladimir Jabotinsky when he says, Zionist colonization can proceed and develop only under the protection of a power that is independent of the native population behind an iron wall which the native population cannot breach. Individual settlers like the people shown in this clip who were afforded the right to return by the Israeli government are not colonizers. The Israeli government is the colonizer. So your attempt to revise history by feeding lines to individual settlers to show somehow that colonization did not happen is a great argument to make if you're a baboon. What's hilarious is that you thought you did something. What's next in this brain dead series? Are you gonna astroturf Native American history by finding a black guy in America and force feeding him lines to say that he's a white colonizer now because he's living on Native American land? Finding ethnic minorities that are living in a country that has been colonized does not disprove that the country was colonized.
When are we all going to come together and realize that these people who are on the internet posing as activists are actually just miserable people who can't contribute to the world, so they contribute to its destruction?
People are like so fragile. People always want to blame the system for systemic problems. Like, what's that about?
Everybody just wants to blame capitalism, the American government, but they never want to blame the human condition.
Everyone knows that the human condition is slavery. Slaves are like always complaining about slavery, and it's just like really annoying. Like, I know I'm white and fabulous, and I've got a spiffy haircut, and I drive a Range Rover, because my dad's on the board of Chevron, but like, these people are so annoying. So like, I'm good, okay? But like, these people that are like trying to advance human rights are like so annoying. It's like, oh, I gotta look at you and my phone. Oh my God, I'm so inconvenienced. These people are hell-bent on contributing to the destruction of society.
Every day I get on this app, among other apps, and I see somebody who looks like they haven't showered in 3 days, complaining about late-stage capitalism, or capitalist this, blah, 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 blah. The system is rigged against us.
People who look like they haven't showered in like 3 days and like are black are like really, really dirty. And like a lot of them are like living under the bridge, which is so tacky. So tacky to go live under the bridge. Also black people. Like it's so tacky to go live under the bridge in like a tent and be all like dirty. Anyway, do you like my new haircut? Look at that fade. I love getting publicly owned. More boot, please. More boot from the state corporate complex. Yes, Zaddy. More boot, please.
Every day I get on this app, among other apps, and I see somebody who looks like they haven't showered in 3 days, complaining about late-stage capitalism, or capitalist this, blah, 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 blah. The system is rigged against us.
Every day I log onto this app and I see 18-year-old Republican Twinkies simping for capitalism. But the funny part is that they're workers in the working class who work for a living for a capitalist. And they don't own any capital. They just willfully log on to the internet and self-report their own ignorance about the political economy they live in and the privileged bubble that they live in. Every day I see them defending capitalism with no argument whatsoever except for some faulty, flimsy point about capitalism is when human nature.
It's to blame capitalism, the American government, but they never want to blame the human condition.
Which is not an argument. Meanwhile, actual critical thinking people can cite the historical record, cite objective facts about our society, cite research and studies, polling that has been done, which supports the claim, which is that capitalism is a system built on the principle of self-accumulation and self-enrichment to the detriment and exploitation of the masses, including this person I'm stitching here.
I'm so sick of hobos literally littering the streets of LA.
I am so sick of all these rude, scary hillbillies. Like, literally go somewhere else. And it's not even like I don't have any sympathy for, like, hillbillies on drugs. Because, like, if I had a choice in where my tax money could be spent, I would totally invest in, like, a hobo camp. Like, a camp where they could, like, all concentrate, like, far away from me. And I'm not even talking about the nice ones, obviously, like the ones that like sell you flowers or like hold up signs and are like nice to me. I'm talking about the ones that like pee and poo on the street and are like really rude and scary and like angry, and you like bring them food and they don't want food and it's like, why are you so angry? And I have sympathy and empathy and all that, but like my biggest fear is like becoming a hobo on drugs. And yeah, I live paycheck to paycheck and have more in common with a hobo on drugs than I ever will with a billionaire or even a millionaire, but that doesn't stop me from being completely delolo. Ooh, hang on, Spencer's calling. Spencer, salutations. Let's do make a cena for brunch. Toodles.
My biggest criticism of Israel and how they've handled this war is that they've been far too nice.
Imagine being so void of a personality that your entire online persona is wholly devoted to defending the racist apartheid policies of an ethno-state. But these are the world's smartest Zionists, literally. She, just like all other Israelis right now, are massively coping because Israel cannot keep its citizens safe. Their favorite genocidal dictator cannot keep his citizens safe. That's so weird. But it's just like they say, don't build a concentration camp, fill it with 2.3 million starving people next to your settler colony. Zionists are such a scared, sad, pathetic group of people. I mean, they have literally no culture. That's why they had to steal land. And we can see that their biggest supporters, their biggest proponents, their most ardent defenders are 18-year-old wind tunnels who like to yap in front of a camera. Why is everyone talking bad about my favorite apartheid ethno-state? Cry more, little Karen. Wind workers. We slaughtered.
Hey, hi, hello. Did you think that if you shoehorned the Jewish people are reptilians who secretly control the entire world conspiracy theory into the middle of your video that no one would notice it, you anti-Semitic piece of shit?
You are absolutely pathetic. The fact that you took time out of your day to make this trash, when I clearly indicated in that video, as I do in every video that I make, that I'm talking about the apartheid ethno-state of Israel and not the Jewish faith. Depicting Israel as a monster as it commits an ongoing genocide hurts this guy's fifis. I hurt this dingleberry's feelings, whatever shall I do?
So, I await your apology video.
Don't forget, white Western liberals living in Ohio are the victim. We should all apologize to the Christian Zionists for offending them when we depict Israel as a fucking monster. How does this self-obsessed faux intellectual history dude not realize that he is once again spewing Zionist propaganda as he conflates a national territory with a religious identity? Does he think his audience is stupid? He should be ashamed of himself. You're either dishonest or you are incredibly, magnificently unintelligent. Either way, I don't give a shit. Motherfucker wrote, "How dare you," in his caption. Never underestimate phony, white, American, liberal, faux intellectual, self-obsessed, self-anointed history experts' ability to victimize themselves and tone police political satire in the middle of an eternal massacre playing out in the nightmare box every fucking day. I've given my entire page and my entire focus to covering the genocide in the Gaza Strip ever since October 7th. Let's see what this clown's been up to. Okay, here's his page.
Hey, hi, hello, it's me, the History Wizard, host of the History Podcast. Have a day with the History Wizard. Hey, hi, hello, it's me, the History Wizard, host of the History Podcast. Have a day with the History. Hey, hi, hello, it's me, the History Wizard, host of the History Podcast.
Bro, what the fuck is this shit? Wait a second, weren't you the stooge that was both siding a genocide?
This comment reads, can you break down the whole Israel stuff to where my broken brain can understand it? Probably not. And this isn't a slight against you, the situation's just a fucking mess. And the average person simply isn't capable of discussing it without either being wildly anti-Semitic or supporting the ethnic cleansing that the Israeli government is committing against the Palestinian people.
Yes, apartheid and ethnic cleansing is very nuanced and complex. You probably wouldn't understand. Oh no, I offended a Zionist. Anyway, clearly our little history wizard didn't think this one through. I really think the only reason that this little history wizard guy made this video is because he got to say the word
shoehorn.
shoehorn.
Shoehorned.
Shoehorn. I mean, he really went for it, didn't he, folks? R.I.P., bozo.
It's not genocide at the college. I give a fuck about what's going on the other side of the world, but why would I give a fuck about the college?
Oh no, please tell me that Tiffany Haddish did not just get up on stage in front of tens of thousands of people and publicly acknowledge that she doesn't understand how the military-industrial complex works, or the fact that university endowments, including her tax money, funds an ongoing genocide. Please tell me our celebrities are not this morally or intellectually bankrupt. Yikes.
I give a fuck about what's going on the other side of the world, but why would I give a fuck about the college?
You just said it. I get it now. You only acknowledge the genocide insofar as your complicity is not implicated. Like you said, it's halfway across the world. So long as it doesn't interrupt your day, how brave!
Never went to college. Why would I care?
Tiffany, you've never been to Gaza either. What the fuck is your point? Tiffany, let me tell you something that 18-year-olds can grasp, which you, a grown-ass adult, are struggling with. That calling on American institutions to divest in Israel materially affects and helps put an end to the ongoing genocide happening now, which you claim to care about.
I give a fuck about what's going on the other side of the world.
That's worse. The fact that you acknowledge that there is a genocide, but you refuse to see what is enabling it and making it a material reality. How are you this obtuse?
Shut the fuck up. This is shit I'm talking about.
Okay, cool. So you literally don't care, and you'll put more energy into using your public platform and fighting the opposition to genocide. Cool take, bro.
Mr. Speaker.
Oh no, not Jerry Seinfeld, the guy that made his career out of being too cool to have empathy for anything, is suddenly being publicly embarrassed for being too cool and not having empathy for anything. I shouldn't say anything, it's a fucking genocide. I take such delight when the old reactionaries are shamed by the youth for being spineless worms. That's exactly what Jerry Seinfeld is. He's just better than everyone, isn't he, folks? He just can't be bothered. Well, not anymore. Thankfully, the next generations that are coming of age have more spine than these old reactionary losers who are bought and sold and who benefit greatly from this awful system. And you know what's really amazing is that these college kids are not doing this out of fear of being drafted. They are doing this out of a basic moral faculty that they possess, which people like Jerry Seinfeld are too self-absorbed to have. Imagine having hundreds of millions of dollars and still being shown up by college kids. Imagine having hundreds of millions of dollars and still you cannot afford a spine. And all you can do is just smile there on stage as you get embarrassed. I have secondhand embarrassment for you, Jerry Seinfeld. All that money and all that fame, and still people see right through you. You unprincipled. Enjoy your new honorary degree as you live out the rest of your days as a literal worm.
Nixon ordered Cambodian genocide. Clinton sent cruise missiles to Sudan, people died. Obama gave the orders to do drone strikes. Reagan invaded Nicaragua in '85.